Bonjour, les étudiants of class 9. Hope you're doing good. So the next week we got a test, okay, the midterm test. So all the best. And so this week we'll be just doing a revision. We won't continue the lesson 4. We'll be just revising the exercises of lesson 1, 2, and the opposites of lesson 1 and 2. Okay, so at the beginning of slide we'll be saying the portion and pattern for the midterm test. Okay, so please prepare properly. So the translation, the conjugation, all the other things, so try to prepare properly. So see you. So let's get into the slides. So here we are. Okay, so the portion, it's actually à la rentrée, la première leçon, first lesson, and the second lesson en classe. You know very well the first lesson, it's too small. It's really basic. So we won't be spending much time. Okay, and so better concentrate more on the second lesson. Okay, so first lesson you can just give a small glance and that would be enough. And the second lesson, we got not bad things. Okay, so here is the pattern. So the translations, you'll be having 2 dialogues in French which got to be translated to English, right? Then you'll be having 4 exercises, right? The book back exercises from lesson 1 and lesson 2. It'll be for 20 marks. Okay, so 5 marks each and will be for 20 marks, and 1 composition out of 2. So it's actually the présentez-vous or présentez votre famille. So any one will be asked. Okay, and opposites you'll be having 5. You got to answer 5. And then conjugation of verbs, you'll be asked 2 verbs to conjugate, and it's for 5 marks. Oui. And it will be in present tense, in affirmation. Oui. So no need to be worried about the past tense or future tense and so on. It's in present tense, and those are the one of the basic verbs in French. Oui. And we got no choice. Right? We don't have any choice for the composition or whatever. No choice. Right? So we got 50 marks. Okay, so here we go for the first lesson, leçon 1 à la rentrée. Second exercise. Okay, so only these exercises will be in the syllabus. Okay, so remettez le dialogue dans l'ordre. Okay, you got to rearrange, re-put the dialogues in the right order. Okay, so it's given au revoir, salut Vijay, oui ça va et toi, salut Prakash, ça va, bien merci, voici un ami Vijay. So the first one will be salut Prakash, ça va. Second one will be oui, ça va et toi. So third one will be bien, merci, voici un ami Vijay. And the fourth one will be salut Vijay. And the last one, au revoir. Okay. So this is it. The third exercise, it's actually a conjugation of the verb s'appeler, être. Okay, the verb s'appeler, to call oneself, and the verb être, to be. Okay, so which one fits best in this in these sentences? Elle, so it's actually the verb, it's already given, so you just got to conjugate. Elle s'appelle Maria. So careful with the spelling. Okay, appelle, we often make mistake. Elle s'appelle Maria. Mon nom est Gustave. Vous vous appelez comment? So you can see the difference. For nous and vous, the verb appeler will be with single L, and for all the other subject pronouns, okay, it will be with double L. Tu es étudiant. Et toi, comment tu t'appelles? Oui, comment tu t'appelles? So that's it. The fourth exercise now. Mettez un pronom sujet ou un pronom tonique. So hope you remember the pronom sujet and tonique. Je, tu, il, elle, nous, vous, il, elle are pronom sujet. And the pronom tonique are moi, toi, lui, elle, nous, vous, eux, elle. Okay, so before a subject we'll be using a subject pronoun, and after a conjunction we'll be using a preposition, and conjunction we'll be using a pronoun tonic normally, or before a subject pronoun even there are chances of using pronoun tonic. So the first sentence, je suis étudiante. Okay, so before the verb être, okay, so there is a dash, we'll be using the pronoun sujet je. Ça va et toi. Okay, after a we'll be always placing a pronoun tonic, and it's et toi. Il est professeur. So again, same way like the first one. So est, it's the verb être. So before that we'll go to use the subject pronoun. Il est professeur. And the last before one, c'est toi, Paul. Okay, so is it you, Paul? So say, after say, it's already, there is a verb. Okay, a. Okay, after that we'll be using a pronoun tonic. C'est toi, Paul. Is it you, Paul? And the last one, as I told you, so before the subject, if before a subject, we can place a pronoun tonic, so just lui, c'est Patrick. Okay, so he is Patrick. Okay, so that way. So the fifth exercise, compléter le dialogue. Okay, so there is zero chance of asking this exercise in the exam. So anyway, bonjour, ça va? Ça va bien. Et vous, monsieur? Bien, merci. Au revoir. Okay, so good day. How are you? So fine, thank you. And you, sir? So well, thank you. Bye bye. So now the sixth exercise, répondez au négatif. Okay, répondez au négatif. You got to answer in negation. Tu es étudiant? Non, je suis professeur. Okay, you just got to use no and you can say some other profession. Okay, some other name and so on. So non, je suis professeur. Vous vous appelez Myriam? Non, je m'appelle Jidesh. Third one, c'est Sunil? Non, c'est Aristo. Fourth one, c'est un ami de Paul? Non, c'est un ami de Shivdev. Fifth one, tu es François? Non, je suis Nitin. So you just got to use no. No need to use the negation. Ne pas, no need to use. You can just use no. So now we are heading to lesson 2. So lesson 2, en classe. So here we got the verbs. Okay, so the verbs which are useful in this lesson and also will be from these verbs will be asked in the exam. Okay, so in this slide you can see the verb être and avoir, the auxiliary verbs. Okay, the most important verbs in the language. Être, je suis, tu es, il est, aller, nous sommes, vous êtes, ils sont, elles sont. Avoir, j'ai, tu as, il a, elle a, nous avons, vous avez, ils ont, elles ont. So être to be, avoir to have. So try to write the meanings with the verbs, that will be better, okay, in the exam. And here we got the verb connaître. Connaître, which is to know. Connaître, to know. Je connais, tu connais, il connaît, elle connaît, nous connaissons, vous connaissez, ils connaissent, elles connaissent. Okay, so voilà, the verb connaître. So now here we got some ER ending verbs. Okay, for example, parler or aimer. Je parle, tu parles, il parle, elle parle, on parle, nous parlons, vous parlez, il parle, elle parle. And aimer, j'aime, tu aimes, il aime, elle aime, on aime, nous aimons, vous aimez, ils aiment, elles aiment. So the verb parler means to speak or to talk. Aimer means to like or to love. Right? So these two are ER ending verbs. The only difference, it's actually parler starts with a consonant and aimer starts with a vowel. So if a verb starts with a vowel, so what we do for the first person singular, we cut a for the subject pronoun je and we add an apostrophe. Okay, and same way for the pronunciation, we just link those two words, okay, the subject and the verb. Okay, so everywhere. J'aime, tu aimes, il aime, elle aime, on aime, nous aimons, that is Z sound for nous, vous, il, elle, nous aimons, vous aimez, ils aiment, elles aiment. Oui. So now to the exercises. Here we go. Associer les questions et les réponses. Associer les questions et les réponses. So you got to associate the questions and the answers. So tu as quel âge? Tu as quel âge? Okay, so here we got the answers in the next slide. Tu as quel âge? 20 ans. Quelle langue vous parlez? Chinois. Combien de stylos tu as? 4. How many pens do you have? Okay, 4. Vous comprenez le chinois? You understand Chinese? Pas du tout. Not at all. Quel monument tu connais à Paris? Which monument? Okay, or what monument you know in Paris? So La Tour Eiffel. Okay, so the second exercise, the same way you got to ask question for the answers. Okay, so the right side is normally the answers. Sylvia à Bruxelles. Non, je suis italien. Non, je connais bien le français. Près de l'aéroport. Okay, so Sylvia, it's actually the name. So you got to ask like comment tu t'appelles, comment vous vous appelez, or quel est ton nom, quel est votre nom. Okay, so anything is possible. So even if you write it on your own, but if it's grammatically it's correct, so then they'll sure give you marks. So second one, à Bruxelles, in Bruxelles. Okay, so Bruxelles, it's a capital of Belgium. Okay, so it's actually a city in Belgium. So you can ask like, where do you live? Where are you living? Où habites-tu? Où habites-tu? And the third one, no, je suis italien. No, je suis italien. No, I'm an Italian. So what would be the question? So are you an Indian? So that way. So es-tu indien or tu es indien? Est-ce que tu es indien? So all these three are possible. Any one is fine. Or you can even write any other nationality. Tu es français, tu es indien, tu es chinois. Okay. So the last before one, no, no, je connais bien le français. So no, I know French very well. Okay. So the question will be like, tu connais bien le chinois? The question mark is missing, so please add it. So tu connais bien le chinois? You know Chinese very well? No, I know French very well. Okay, so that's how it's answered. And the last one, it's près de l'aéroport, near the airport. Okay, near to the airport. So you got to ask something, where is it? Okay, so où est ta maison? Okay, where is your house? Near to the airport, for example. Où est ta maison? Okay. Alright, so now we'll head to the third exercise. Faites l'accord des adjectifs. Faites l'accord des adjectifs. So we got to write the adjectives in the correct form. Okay, so just masculine or feminine, singular or plural. Okay, so c'est une jolie robe. Okay, so robe it's feminine, so we add with it. Okay, so c'est une jolie, the same pronunciation for masculine, feminine, singular, plural, but we add a oui, jolie robe. So B, son professeur est sympathique. So sympathique, it's actually an adjective. For both masculine and feminines, we got the same spelling, same pronunciation, sympathique, right, which means his teacher is kind. Right? So the third one, nous avons une grande voiture. Okay, so nous avons une grande voiture. So voiture, it's feminine, as you can see, une voiture. So we'll be adding an e, same way like the first one. Jolie robe, une jolie robe, une grande voiture. So the last before one, mon appartement est trop petit. So mon appartement est trop petit. So it's not petit, we don't add e because apartment it's masculine. Okay, the word apartment it's masculine, so we write it as it is. Okay, petit. Okay, so it's not feminine, so we don't add e. So the last one, c'est un nouveau étudiant. So nouveau it's masculine singular, and for feminine, une étudiante it's feminine, so we'll be adding we remove au and we add lle. C'est une nouvelle étudiante. It is a new student. Oui, voilà. So fourth one, mettez les verbes entre parenthèses au temps qui convient. Okay, so put the verbs in the bracket in the convenient form. Oui. So vous dash américain. Okay, vous êtes américain. So second one, ils ont 18 ans. They are 18 years old. For the age, don't forget, we'll be using the verb avoir. Oui. So often you'll be making mistakes in the self-introduction and when you're introducing your family. Oui, so attention. Nous connaissons bien l'Inde. We know India very well. Okay, nous connaissons, the conjugation. Tu habites où? Okay, for tu, it's habite with S. Tu habites où? Where do you live? Elle parle 4 langues. She speaks 4 languages. The verb parler, er ending. So we'll move to the fifth exercise. Complétez les phrases avec la nationalité. Complétez les phrases avec la nationalité. So you got to read the first half of the sentence, then you got to write the correct nationality of that particular person. So regarding where is he living. So Tremblay habite à Montréal. Il est Canadien. Okay, so Montreal, it's in Canada, right? So you got to be a Canadian. So we write il est Canadien. Elisabeth est de Londres. Elizabeth is from London. Elle est anglaise. So London, it's in England. Okay, so capital of England, it's London. So it's actually, she's in English. Okay, so British or English, we say anglaise. Third one, Karthik habite en Inde. il est indien. Okay, so they gave directly the country's name. So you can just directly write indien. Kartik habite en Inde, il est indien. Yoko habite à Tokyo. Yoko habite à Tokyo. Elle est japonaise. Okay, so Yoko habite à Tokyo. Tokyo is the capital of Japan, right? Okay, Tokyo is the capital of Japan. So elle est japonaise. Guys, she's Japanese. And the last one, Vladimir est de Moscow. Vladimir est de Moscow. Il est russe. So Moscow is actually the capital of Russia. Okay, so we'll be writing the nationality of Russia. So il est russe. Okay, and same way for the first one, just for a small info, Montreal, it's not the capital of Canada. Ottawa is the capital of Canada. Okay, so don't think all these are capitals. Okay, Montreal, it's actually a region, it's a city in Canada. Okay, so we'll move to the next. So the sixth exercise, choisissez avoir ou être. Choose if it's avoir or être. Tu as quel âge? So as I told, for the age, we'll be using avoir. No matter if it's a question or answer, we'll be using avoir. Tu as quel âge? Second one, vous dash étudiant. Vous êtes étudiant. Okay, you are a student. Okay, so we don't use have. You are, we'll be using the verb être. Ils sont allemands. Ils sont allemands. So we'll be using the verb être again because it's a nationality we are talking about. Ils sont allemands. So the last before one, il a des stylos. So des stylos, some pens. It's actually a possession, so we better use the verb avoir. Okay, so he has some pens. Il a des stylos. Elle dash un appartement à Paris. Elle a un appartement à Paris, same way like the last before one. So here it's a possession, so we use the verb avoir. She has an apartment in Paris. Okay, so let's move to the next exercise, seventh exercise. Faites des phrases avec l'adjectif interrogatif. Okay, so make some questions with the interrogative adjective, which is quel. Okay, so mon nom est Sunil. Mon nom est Sunil. My name is Sunil. So you can use quel est ton nom. Okay, here you can't use comment vous vous appelez or comment tu t'appelles, because in the heading instructions they have given with the adjective interrogative. Okay, you got to use quel. You can use quel est votre nom or quel est ton nom. Oui. Voilà, so mon nom est Sunil. So the second one, 93 80 27 89 12. So you got a telephone number. So you got to ask like, what's your telephone number? Quel est ton numéro de téléphone? Same way like nom, numéro it's masculine, so we use ton. Oui, quel est ton numéro de téléphone? Okay, so third one, 20 ans. 20 ans, it means 20 years. Okay, 20 years. So quel âge tu as? Or quel âge as-tu? Quel âge vous avez? Oui, so what's your age? Oui, quel âge tu as? So the last before one. J'aime beaucoup la France. J'aime beaucoup la France. I like France a lot. So quel pays aimes-tu? Okay, so which country you like? Quel pays aimes-tu? So we're using the verb aimer, and pays, it's actually country or countries, both singular and plural. We got the same spelling, pays, which is a masculine noun. So we use quel, Q-U-E-L. Quel pays aimes-tu? Okay, so the last one. So again we got the age. Il a 18 ans. Il a 18 ans. He is 18 years old. So quel âge il a? Or quel âge a-t-il? Oui, quel âge il a? So third question with the second person singular, and the last question, it's actually the third person singular masculine. Oui, voilà. So the eighth exercise, compléter avec un article défini, le, la, l'apostrophe, ou indéfini, un win. Okay, so the definite articles, indefinite articles. So Paris est une belle ville. Paris est une belle ville. So belle ville, it's feminine. Okay, so first you got to check if it's singular or plural, masculine or feminine. Okay, so then you can go for definite or indefinite. So it's singular, feminine. So both two possibilities, la and win. So you can't say la, because if you say Paris est la belle ville, which means Paris is the only beautiful city. Okay, so which is not. we got a lot of beautiful cities, so better we say with indefinite articles. So Paris est une belle ville. Paris is a beautiful city. Le musée du Louvre est à Paris. So the Louvre Museum is in Paris. So the Louvre Museum, because there is only one Louvre Museum in the whole world, so it's a universal truth, like Taj Mahal and so on. So we say Le Musée du Louvre est à Paris. And as I told you during the lesson, so we got one more Musée du Louvre in Dubai, I guess. Okay, so voilà. C'est un beau monument. It's a beautiful monument. Okay, same way like the first one. You can't say with le beau monument, because beau monument, it is masculine, and if you say le beau monument, which means it is the only beautiful monument. So it's better we say with indefinite article, c'est un beau monument. Et devant, and in front, on trouve une pyramide, and in front we find a pyramid. Okay, a pyramid shaped glass pyramid. Okay, in front we find a pyramid, une pyramide. So pyramid is feminine, okay, singular, so we use une. You can't say la because there are a lot of pyramid shaped. Oui. C'est une belle création. C'est une belle création. It is a beautiful creation. Okay, so again you can't use la because there are a lot of beautiful creations, so we better use indefinite article. C'est une belle création. So we'll finish with the opposites. Okay, so these are the opposites of lesson 1 and 2. Okay, so both combined, so we'll be asking from this, but we may ask even from the right side. You got to write the left side. You should be able to write the left side if the right side is asked. Okay, nouvelle, ancienne, new, old, oui, non, est, non, bien, mal, good, bad, jeune, vieux, young, old, aimer, détester. So if it's a verb, it's given. If it's given in infinitive form, give the infinitive form. If it's conjugated, you got to conjugate it, okay, with the right form. Beaucoup, un peu, a lot, a little. Près de, loin de, nearby, far from. Grande, petite, big, small. Same way the adjectives, if it's given in feminine form, you got to write the feminine form. Right? If it's given in masculine, masculine. So plural, plural, so same way. Right? Derrière, devant. Okay, so derrière, which means behind, devant means before. Joli, les. Okay, so joli, okay, so careful. It's given in masculine form here. Okay, so joli. And laid, okay, we'll be adding an e. Okay, so we'll be adding an e with laid. Okay, les, laid. Joli, it's in feminine form. Here actually an e is missing. Right, so try to add it. The last time we had it. Right? Ici, là. So joli, laid, which means beautiful, pretty, or ugly. Okay, ici, it means here. La means there. Sympathetic, antipathic. So sympathetic, it's good, fine, kind. Okay, so antipathic, it's unkind, not fine. Right, so that's it. So that's it, the revision for today. All the best for the exam, guys. Okay, so do it well. So write it neatly. So try to use blue pen, and if you want, you can use black pen for the headings and the answers, same way like we write the classwork. Okay, so all the best. Take care.